What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today is a top 10 list, and for today, you can see in the background behind me, today is my top 10 anime shows of all time. Number 10 is Dragonheart. Now, I absolutely adore this anime. The manga is very vast and a lot goes on in the manga. It's a very good read as well. If you want to read the manga, it's very good. However, this is an anime show that only lasted 2 episodes before it was cancelled. I don't know why it was cancelled. I think the production company basically went bust, I believe. I could be wrong here, but that's my current knowledge on the matter. But yeah, unfortunately it was cancelled and only made 2 episodes. But these 2 episodes are some of the funniest stuff. It makes me laugh even to this day. I absolutely adore this anime, and I think everyone should check it out. The story of Dragonheart follows a character called Mink, a half-human, half-dragon teenage girl on a quest for a potion which will turn her into a full human so that she can win the love of a legendary dragon slayer called Dick Saucer. In order to get the potion in this show, especially in the manga as well, you see her whole journey. She must slay Azathoth, the greatest demon in the land. The story, which I love, is very tongue-in-cheek and it pokes fun at a number of anime cliches, which is always fun to see a show like this kind of just having a good laugh with it. Seriously, like, Dragonheart is so funny, like, and it's one of those rare occasions for me with anime that I actually just adore the English dub because it's hilarious. So if you can find this to watch, you know, if you can pick up a DVD or find it on YouTube to watch, I recommend just watch 2 episodes. That's all it is, but it's a blast. It's so funny.
How dare you, wench! You have committed a grievous sin! From that sneaky and treacherous blow, my mighty brain lost 100,003 cells! Huh? That face is the one! I, Damaramu, have found the red dragon!
Did you hear that? I think I may have hit him on the wrong part of the head. I think he sees a dragon instead of you.
Coming in at number 9, we have Rurouni Kenshin. This is a great kind of samurai, esque show about a ronin who has done horrific things in the past and wants to change and become kind of a protector of the innocent, basically. A really great show. 95 episodes, is a bit longer than Dragonheart, that's for sure. But I think the animation is stellar. The story is brilliant. The show came over to the UK as known as Samurai X, so you may find those DVDs in and about the anime section in HMV and places like that. But this is a bootleg of the show, how it was meant to be seen, basically. It's a very competent bootleg of the show. You wouldn't even think it's a bootleg. It's so well made. The show is just really well done. Great. The characters are brilliant. Kenshin himself is a great character. The story of Rurouni Kenshin, it kind of begins during the 11th year of the Meiji period of Japan and follows a former assassin from Bakumatsu known as Hitokiri Botasai. After his work against Bakufu, Hitokiri Botasai disappears and he becomes Himura Kenshin, a wandering swordsman who protects the people of Japan with a vow never to take another life. With Kenshin being a former assassin in the show, the story kind of slowly becomes more serious as it continues. It's just so good. I absolutely love Rurouni Kenshin. Number 8, we have a classic that a lot of people probably have seen if you're into anime, Death Note. I thought this was absolutely compelling when I first discovered it in like 2006, 2007. I think it was just was becoming the big kind of anime thing at the time. Love this show. It's like a murder mystery that you already know the outcome of. It's a very interesting show, very compelling. It gives you a bit of a moral conflict because, like, you feel like this character, Light Yagami, he has his power to rid the world of these horrific people, but obviously he's still kind of murdering people in a sense. So you're not sure whether you can really kind of follow his ideals or not, but the story's great, the characters are great, and I just love the whole presentation of this show. The animation is just fucking top-notch animation. The story of Death Note follows the character Light Yagami, a teenager who discovers a mysterious notebook, the Death Note, which belonged to the Shinigami Ryuk and grants the user the supernatural ability to kill anyone whose name is written in the pages. It's that powerful, guys. It's so cool. The series centers around Light's subsequent attempts to use a Death Note to carry out a worldwide massacre of individuals who he deems to be immoral, and to create a crime-free society using the alias of a godlike vigilante named Kira. Death Note is definitely one of the best shows in terms of just from start to finish, just a great story. I love the narrative in this show. It's so good. It gives you a moral dilemma whether should you really root for Light as he goes through this like worldwide massacre. 38 episodes. Absolutely love this show. Coming in at number 7, we have FULLMETAL Alchemist Brotherhood. Now, this is an interesting tale, the anime in particular, not the actual story, but this has got an interesting backstory where there was a anime before this came out just called FULLMETAL Alchemist, and that show caught up with the manga and it had to basically develop its own ending, and a lot of fans don't really see that as the optimal way to watch the anime as it adapts to the manga. This is 100% faithful to the manga. It has the manga ending. It has everything you want from the original source material. It is 100% faithful. It's the way to watch it. I think it's fantastic. I love the characters. I love the world that is in this steampunk kind of world where magic and alchemy are kind of at the forefront. It's a great story, and the two characters here are some of my favourite protagonists in anime of all time. FULLMETAL Alchemist Brotherhood is set in the 20th century in a fictional universe in which alchemy is a widely practiced science. The series follows the journey of two alchemist brothers, Edward and Alphonse Elric, who are searching for the Philosopher's Stone to restore their bodies after a failed attempt to bring their mother back to life using alchemy. The story in this is absolutely tragic, absolutely heart-wrenching, but you want them to succeed in their journey, in their endeavor, because it's got one of the most feel-good endings to an anime show that I've ever seen. I absolutely adore this show, and I think everyone should check it out. Coming in at number 6, we have Parasite the Maxim. I quite like my dark stories and anime shows, so when this popped up on Crunchyroll, I had to check it out back in like 2010, whenever it was. It's very much like, gives me the Thing vibe about these parasitic aliens that take over the human body, and they can morph their body into weird and wonderful, crazy, violent things. What grabbed me with this show originally was the relationship between Shinichi and Migi, and it's a wonderful relationship they build in this show, and it's gloriously violent, really heartwarming in places. It's that perfect balance of kind of dark and light, and kind of that kind of just wonderful balance of storytelling here that I really enjoy. It centers around a 17-year-old male high school student named Shinichi Izumi, who lives with his mother and father in a quiet neighborhood in Fukuyama. One night, tiny worm-like aliens with drill-like heads called parasites arrive on Earth, taking over the brains of their hosts by entering through their ears or noses. One parasite in particular attempts to crawl into Shinichi's nose while he sleeps, but fails as Shinichi wakes up and enters his body by burrowing into his arm instead. The parasite takes over Shinichi's right hand and is named Migi. Because Shinichi was able to prevent Migi from travelling further up into his brain, both beings retain their separate intellects and personalities. As the duo encounters other parasites, they capitalise on their strange situation and gradually form a strong bond, working together to survive. This gives them an edge in battling other parasites, who frequently attack the pair upon realisation that Shinichi's human brain is still intact. Shinichi feels compelled to fight other parasites who devour other members of the species they infect as food, while enlisting Migi's help. So from that brief description, you can understand that this is that mix of dark, violent kind of tone and this kind of wonderful character building and relationship building between Migi and Shinichi in this show. I absolutely love it. It's great. If you like body horror and, you know, violent anime shows, and with a bit of, you know, a lightheartedness thrown in there as well with the relationship aspect, I think you would really enjoy this show. Coming in at number 5 is Blood Sea. Blood Sea threw me off guard. I bought this on a whim. It was a blind buy pretty much for me a long time ago. 12 episodes. It doesn't need to be any longer than that. It is fucking perfection from start to finish. I absolutely adore this show. It's probably one of the most violent animes I have ever seen. It is ridiculous. If you want blood and blood everywhere and just things getting chopped to pieces, this is probably the show for you. But it's all about the characters for me. I think this show is absolutely fantastic. The main character here, Saya, she's very much a very interesting character to me. She comes across as this like kind of clumsy klutz of a character, but at night when you realise that her real life is about killing demons, she becomes this fucking badass demon hunter, and it's just such a good dynamic in the show with how, you know, she jumps between her kind of real, you know, normal day-to-day life and her, you know, nighttime kind of demon hunting life. It's really good. You might think 12 episodes is quite short for a show, but I feel like the narrative they tell in this is perfect for the 12 episodes. Blood Sea focuses on Saya Kisaragi, an outwardly normal girl who serves as a shrine maiden to a country town. In reality, she is a skilled swordsman charged by her father to defeat elder barns, monsters who feed on human blood. As her battles grow more desperate and more people she cares for fall victim to the elder barns, Saya begins finding fault in her reality and eventually uncovers a disturbing truth about herself, the town, and her surviving friends. It's not just a Demon Slayer anime, it has twists and turns and unexpected moments that literally I was like, what the fuck is going on? It's so great. I think everyone should love this. It's brilliant. At number 4, we have Neon Genesis Evangelion. Now, you probably know I'm a massive Giant Monster fan on this channel. I love my Godzilla. I love my Giant Monster movies. That kind of love for giant monsters and, you know, giant robots, it came from Neon Genesis Evangelion. This is what really made me love these big kind of over-the-top action anime that have giant robots versus giant monsters. This show is unbelievable. I love it. The animation is absolutely unbelievable. The storytelling is fantastic. The only downfall for me is I think the main character, Shinji, he's probably one of the worst protagonists ever in anime, in my opinion. I hate him. I think he's awful, an awful protagonist. But other than that, I think this is a fantastic show with great animation. The actual character design is amazing. The mech design is unbelievable in this show for me. Evangelion is set 15 years after a worldwide cataclysm, particularly in the futuristic fortified city of Tokyo 3. The protagonist is Shinji, a teenage boy who was recruited by his father, Gendo, to the shadowy organization NERV to pilot a giant biomachine mecha named Evangelion into combat against beings called angels. The series explores the experiences and emotions of the Evangelion pilots and members of NERV as they try to prevent angels from causing more cataclysms. In the process, they are called upon to understand the ultimate causes of events and the motive of human action. There's a lot of character development in the show as well. It's not just mecha monster action all the way through. There is really deep themes, human motive, human purpose, love and death. There's a lot of deep themes in this show. Religion is in there as well, Christianity and Judaism. There's a lot of themes in this show that makes it go above and beyond other mecha shows for me. I just think it's fucking awesome. Neon Genesis Evangelion is a strong recommend from me. I think it's fantastic. We're down to the final 3. So number 3, everyone needs to watch this show. It's unbelievably good. Number 3 is Trigun. Now, I remember my friend recommended me this show a while ago, maybe like, you know, 7-8 years ago, and I borrowed his set. I watched it, absolutely fell in love with it. Everything about this show is brilliant. The story is engaging. The characters are some of my favourite anime characters of all time. The main character is one of the coolest protagonists ever in an anime show for me, and I reckon he inspired Dante from Devil May Cry. He has to, because he's so fucking cool. He's a cool cat, guys. He's a cool cat. He's got the name Vash the Stampede, which is probably the coolest name for any anime protagonist of all time. Say it with me, Vash the Stampede. How cool is that name? It's the coolest name, honestly. It's the coolest name. I wish I was called Vash the Stampede. Hell yes, guys. This is a really cool kind of steampunk-esque Western style show that I think if you're a big fan of really kind of like deep, heartwarmingly tragic stories in a very kind of told in a way that is quite light-hearted about it, I think you might really like this show. Trigun is set on a fictional planet known as No Man's Land. The plot follows Vash the Stampede, a famous gunman who is constantly fighting bounty hunters, seeking to obtain the immense bounty on his head. As the narrative progresses, Vash's past is explored and explained in a tragic way. Trigon originated from Night Owl's fascination with Western movies. Night Owl wanted Vash to be different from cowboys in Western movies by avoiding killing enemies and instead exploring the characters involved in each story arc. The story arcs in this are very much character driven, and the character development is amazing. I love all the characters. The show's awesome, and again, he's called Vash the Stampede. What's not to like? I'm just going to say this, guys, with Trigun. Just watch the opening intro to it, the opening credits. Just look that up, watch that. I'm sure you'll already be invested. The opening credits are unbelievable. I fucking love it. Just the opening credits are amazing, guys, honestly. Trigun. It's one of the best animes of all time. You should watch it. It's awesome. Down to number 2. This is a hard one for me to, Trigon on this for number 2. It was hard. When I'm thinking about this show and how just lovingly light-hearted and heartwarming it is, and how funny it is as well. Out of the whole list here, this is a show that I think everybody should watch. Everyone should watch this show. So at number 2 is Fruits Basket. I like my dark storytelling, my violent anime shows that really kind of kicks into high gear very quickly and becomes all out action. I love those shows. You'll see what I mean by number 1. I didn't expect to like this, but my friend recommended it ages ago. My friend's a big anime fan. He was like, check out Fruits Basket. You might like it, you might not. And I read the little bit of the synopsis and I thought, it seems to be a bit too lovey-dovey for me. But I checked it out, I gave it a go. And guys, this is probably one of the greatest anime shows ever made. I love everything about it. It's probably got the greatest protagonist of any anime show ever, Toru. She's probably the most likable, most lovable character in an anime that I've ever experienced. You root for her for the whole way. You care about her for the whole show. And that's what I love about this series, is that she's amazing. But even the supporting characters, the Soma brothers, they are also very likable as well. And the whole actual story narrative here is, it's lovable and heartwarming, but also kind of tragic at the same time. And you'll understand if you watch this show, it gets very tragic very quickly, but it's still heartwarming, funny, lovable, and I think everyone should check it out. If you want something that's just will warm your heart no end, it will. It's a feel-good anime. It does get tragic towards the midpoint, but it's still such a feel-good anime. Fruits Basket tells the story of Toru Honda, an orphan girl who, after meeting the Soma brothers, learns that 12 members of the Soma family are possessed by the animals of the Chinese zodiac and are cursed to turn into their animal forms when they are weak, stressed, or when they are embraced by anyone of the opposite sex that is not possessed by a spirit of the zodiac. As the series progresses, Toru learns of the hardships and pain faced by the afflicted members of the Soma family, and through her own generous and loving nature helps heal their emotional wounds as she learns more about Yuki, Kyo, and the rest of the mysterious Soma family. Toru also learns more about herself and how much others care for her. This show is mostly about love and friendship, and it's, like I said, it's a feel-good show. It's so heartwarming. I absolutely love it, and everyone, and I mean everyone, even if you've not watched anime before, I think in this top 10 list is the one show that I would say everyone could find something amazing out of this, and I did. I didn't expect it to, and that's what I love about this show. It's so good. 10 out of 10 must watch anime. Honestly, guys, it's fantastic. My number 1 is going to get a lot of sighs from people. You probably can see him on the front there. Yes, Goku right there. Yeah, my number 1 favourite anime show of all time. I'm holding up Dragon Ball Z here, but it is the whole Dragon Ball the whole Dragon Ball kind of property. But yeah, Dragon Ball is my favourite anime of all time. I can't say how much I love this without really going into detail, because it's one of those shows that, I came home from school, I was 13 years old, Toonami was booming on Cartoon Network, Dragon Ball came on, fucking rest is history, guys. I love the narratives, I love the characters, so much character development in this show that is unbelievable. Vegeta here, this guy, probably my favourite anti-hero character of all time. Dragon Ball is probably the most popular anime to ever live, to ever come out, to ever exist. It inspired countless shows, countless anime shows and manga series in its wake. Like, it's the granddaddy of shonen anime massively. Without Dragon Ball, you wouldn't have shows like Naruto, One Piece, and shows like that. They just wouldn't exist without Dragon Ball. It's so massive in terms of manga and the Japanese anime kind of industry. It's a big tentpole franchise for the anime industry, and I love it. I think the animation is great. Akira Toriyama's art style is iconic at this point, to the point where when I was younger I would draw Dragon Ball characters and try to emulate his style, and it still is kind of the style that I go to when drawing now, especially when I try to draw my own characters. They become Dragon Ball-esque, I suppose. But yeah, Dragon Ball, my favourite of all time. I love it. New movie in 2022. If it comes out in theatres in the UK, I'm going to get a ticket. I'm going to see it at the cinema. Hell fucking yes, guys. But yeah, Dragon Ball is amazing. The series follows the adventures of protagonist Son Goku from his childhood through adulthood as he trains in martial arts. He spends his childhood far from civilization until he meets a teen girl named Bulma, who encourages him to join her quest in exploring the world in search of 7 orbs known as the Dragon Balls, which summon a wish-granting dragon when gathered. Along his journey, Goku makes several other friends, becomes a family man, discovers his alien heritage, and battles a wide variety of villains, many of whom also seek the Dragon Balls. Yeah, this goes in many different directions. Amazing characters, amazing narratives, incredible animation, one of the most iconic art styles ever to be in anime. And yeah, I love Dragon Ball so much. Son Goku is one of the greatest protagonists of all time, if not the greatest hero ever conceived in media, in my opinion. I know, kill me in the comments, guys, kill me in the comments. But yeah, Dragon Ball, a bit predictable, I guess. But yeah, it's my favourite anime of all time. I absolutely adore Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z is a lot more kind of nostalgic to me than the actual Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball GT is. But as a whole, I love it all. I think it's great. Yeah. If you're interested in Dragon Ball, check it out. It's a bit confusing because there's Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super. There's a lot of series that people need to figure out what order to watch. But if you've got any questions about Dragon Ball and you want to figure out what's the best way to watch it, drop me a message on Instagram or Facebook and I'll try to help the best I can. Anyway, that is my number 1, Dragon Ball, my favourite anime of all time. If you're into anime, guys, let me know your favourite anime shows down below, and maybe we can have a discourse of anime shows that you can recommend me to watch in the future. As always, if you like what you see here and you want to see more, maybe become a subscriber, Runu, and hit subscribe. It means a lot to me, guys. And as always, thank you to everyone that has already commented, liked, shared and subscribed to this channel. I really do appreciate it. As always, I have been Jason, and I am training to become a Super Saiyan just like Goku. Let's do it.